Doing a video here. We got a US General Pro. This is a 16 drawer, 26 inch wide tool chest. This one's a little beat up, got it at a pawn shop for pretty cheap. But one of the problems with it is that one of the drawer slides is no good. So you can probably appreciate the fact that this upper one here is bent a little bit. Go over here and you notice that that little black plastic end piece is missing and no ball bearings here. So no ball bearings means the ball bearings are somewhere else. Where are they? They are on a plate right there. That's where they are. Don't know what happened to it, but I gotta figure out a replacement. And so far online, I haven't found anything that's really catching my eye as far as replacements. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research on this, see how to replace them, and see how to actually remove them too. That's another issue. So I don't actually see any fasteners. It would be much easier if they just screwed these in, but it looks like they are press fit or something like that. So I gotta figure that out. And when I do figure that, I will let you guys know. This piece that was in here was just pried out. Have a wonder bar here. Just got it under and basically pried it out. So next part is this thing, which appears to be pretty easy to control. This clicks right in. So we undo it and just move it up, and then that basically governs that little piece there, governs the height up and down. Amazingly, I just stuck a pry bar in here, and this moves up like that, and then probably there's a tab back here. Ta-da! Alright, best of luck finding a new one of these, huh? I'll keep you posted as to what I do. There. Just pop that out far enough, and now I can lift it up. Interesting. There it comes out. That's how to remove a slide. Gee, it'd be nice if there was a model number somewhere on here. I don't see one, but I'll keep looking. Anyway, so just so everybody sees what the back side of these look like. Couple of tabs. Same thing down this end. Just a tab. That's all that this is. So not much holds this together here. Not very much. And to put this back, we're gonna put this, hold this way. Put this part. You have to angle it in and down. Click. Done. That's it. Reinstalled. This is the inside of the cabinet, and what I'm doing here is I am looking to reinforce this so it doesn't flex so much. It actually looks like this was dropped off a truck. So there's a bump here, there's a hump here. So I need to take a sledgehammer and hit that down a bit. But I've got some dimensions here. The overall width inside, sheet metal to sheet metal, is that 26.25. Inch and an eighth, inch and 3/16 between them.
It's a mess, Dad.
It is a mess.
Why miss you, Dad?
2 inches from the outer wall to the center of that bolt, 3 inches there. From the underneath sheet metal all the way here, this way, is 14 and 3/16 inches to there. 17 and 5/8 from the underside inside sheet metal to the back sheet metal. So that's kind of the overall dimensions. So what I'm doing here is, well, let's call this a really, really, really cheap project. So I've got some pieces of plywood here that I'm putting in the base just as reinforcement. So the sheet metal hopefully won't flex so much. So I've cut them out to accommodate the nuts. And now I've got to put a piece of plywood across here. Which will be that guy. And I'm going to actually fasten this to these guys. I'm going to probably glue it and screw it so it's tight. Very, very stiff. And since this is not above the bottom drawer, there's plenty of space here, so that'll be good. And then on the underside, we're going to do some reinforcement as well. So effectively, we'll have kind of tripled up 3/4 ply, which is incredibly rigid. And at least that's the idea. So we'll see how it goes. What I've done so far is those 2 pieces that were laying in there are now 1 piece. Actually, it's now 3 pieces here, but now they're down to 1. I glued with just some wood glue the top piece here down to those 2, and then I brad nailed them. And I made sure I had something really heavy sitting on it, so the brad nails will hold things in place before the glue sets, and this will all be good. So what I was thinking was, the problem is, that, how do you hold it down? So I was thinking, how about a wood screw? That'll work. Let's see how that goes. And I gotta flip it over and do the bottom.
Not try that.
No, Maggie, not right now. Thank you, though. Gonna show you my progress right now. So I've got these pieces of ply that I've made. They fit over this lip here. This is a 3/8 inch high lip. They fit over it. They have a channel in there and just some holes just to avoid these nubs. You know, one day we're gonna just think about grinding these actual whole lips off and putting some real angle on there. That would actually be really good. Okay, that was weird. Anyway, so this fits down there like that, and a little bit of a rock because there is height to this, so I'm going to have to shore that up. I'm probably not even going to worry about that because I'm going to block it this way and hold this tight there. Once I got that, then I'll actually add some pieces with some height here and make sure we're incredibly rigid. So the whole thing's going to be really, really rigid. Or at least that's the idea. So, hope you like the idea. Please forgive my woodworking skills. I know this whole job looks like it's done by the proverbial Boy Scout with a hatchet, but I don't have the most awesome woodworking skills, number one. Number two, I don't have the most awesome woodworking equipment, and I've got a terrible space to work in. So, that said, we've got this whole piece now, which is glued and screwed, and basically we've got a plywood sandwich. We've got plywood inside and plywood outside. These add vertical rigidity. So everything here should be incredibly rigid. And now, part of the beauty of doing all this is that casters, instead of being installed, say, about here, we can actually install the casters significantly closer to the edge, if not on the edge. So what that actually does for us is moves the caster out, so it makes it wider in both directions, and then and therefore more stable. That's kind of the idea. Now, I don't know if I'm ultimately going to keep these casters or not. They look like pretty garbage casters, but on the other hand, if I'm trying to save money, then I will keep them. So, first thing first, I'm going to take them apart. And since another video already had these apart, so I don't need to show that, I'm going to take them apart and I'm going to grease them and make sure that they're really, really well lubed before I install them here at all. So we got the woodworking done here, and we have all the casters installed. So as you can see, we've moved the casters out in both directions, so it'll give us better stability. Plus, this thing is rigid now. There's all kinds of other stuff you could do here. You could add another layer of ply, maybe this direction, and maybe even extend the casters out further. Anytime you want to add a different set of casters, it's pretty easy. Again, we just basically glue a piece of ply here and add casters, maybe even pneumatic ones, depending if you want to go over grass or whatever, depending on what you're doing. So lots of different possibilities. I didn't have any particular plans for this project. I don't typically draw up plans for things like this. This is all on the fly, kind of pieces that I have lying around. That's part of the combination. The rest is the only thing I went out and bought was the lag bolts to go in here, and these are just 5/16 inch, half-inch head, 2-inch long lags. So they go through to the bottom, to the underside, and hopefully into wood. If they're not into wood, at least they're into sheet metal. The odds of this having a problem is going to be really, really low. I'd love to have some new casters one day, but I don't know if that's going to happen any too soon. If I get some, then great. If not, oh well. Well, I'm starting to load it, and it appears to be really stable, which is great. The casters, of course, leave something to be desired, but a little bit of plywood sandwiched in there makes a huge difference. It's much more stable now. The bottom is not wonky anymore, which is great. So the whole thing used to just flex. Now it doesn't. So there you have it. There's that modification. Just sandwich some plywood in. And also, the wheels being out, I think, makes a huge difference too. Just an inch further out, and boy, what a difference in the stability of the thing. One thing I'm going to fix next is, this is difficult to appreciate here. A couple pieces of sheet metal here. This one is 1/8 of an inch further down. It's 1/8 of an inch longer this way. So from here to here. So this drawer itself hangs down, the one that goes in here hangs down visibly further than this one, but that's not the ultimate issue. The ultimate issue is this piece of metal here is actually catching the drawer that slides in here. And the proof is right there. There she is. So that's catching. So I actually have to somehow shorten this piece, which means I got to drill out the rivets. And 1, 2, 3 rivets. Hope this piece pops off. Take it, cut it, mill it. Probably have to cut it here, all the way back. Cut 1/8 of an inch piece out. Put the two pieces back together and weld them. Yeah, that's going to be fun. All for a stupid... anyway, doesn't matter. So, this video is about the modification for the base. So, I can tell you that if you want something that's really inexpensive, this absolutely does work. I'm really happy with it so far. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.